speaking of music,
Mm-hmm.
when you're editing stuff, are you a music first type of guy or?
Actually, I don't use any music when I'm editing. It's kind of weird because I just had this conversation yesterday.
What?
Like all my videos, I pretty much have to edit in silence.
So the music is the last thing you do.
It's the very last thing.
Like you've got your cuts,
Yeah, like I just look at the visuals first and the pace of everything, and I
Okay.
just chop everything up and just see what I have, and then maybe I'll step away and just probably listen to Pandora or something, or just like let different kind of music roll, and then just get a vibe or something. Like someone contacted me yesterday,
Okay.
and they're like they sent me
edit to this song.
they sent it edit to this song.
Put this song in my video.
Edit these 2 songs.
Okay.
And like I told him, I was like, I don't edit to any music. I was like, if it fits what I have, then I'll use it if it's necessary, but I'll keep it in mind.
And what was their reaction to that?
He's like, fine.
That's interesting to me because I've done both, right? With music or not. And as an editor, because, a lot of people don't realize that shooting is editing and editing is shooting. The more you do both, the better that you come at each part of it. I kind of like to think of it as offense and defense. Like I grew up playing team sports, namely soccer, football. And I realized like there's a lot of players who shine. Obviously, there's positions on the field. There's 11 of them. But where do you fit in that? And I think when you grow up and during your formative years and you're in that kind of environment a lot, you really get conscious about your role and your position and your strengths, your weaknesses. And so I was like, this kind of feels in that way like where, yeah, I think, of course, everyone wants to score goals, like be an offensive player. But there's always those defensive players who get in the highlight reel too. They're Dennis Rodmans, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, I feel like shooting and editing is almost like that kind of dichotomy, or there's 2 sides, and the better you are at each side of it, even if you're good like a striker and you're good at scoring goals, knowing what defenders are taught, watching what defenders are doing when they're training and thinking about their process too is only going to help you, right? When you're attacking. And I think shooting and editing has that effect. So
like, what do you use music when you go, or?
I do try different things. And recently, one of the ways that I've been attacking, let's say your typical promotional video, is I have this playlist on my, what is it? I don't know if it's Endemic Sound or Artlist.io or Music Bay, one of those, right? I have a playlist there that just says music first. And so when I'm doing, because I'm always on there, you're always searching, right? You might go by tempo, you might go all your filters, right? Mm-hmm. And if I hear something that I'm not necessarily going to use in the project I'm working on, but it spawns some kind of imagery or some kind of sequence or some kind of like
inspires
mood,
you, yeah.
Where I'm like, automatically I'm visualizing the ocean for whatever reason, right? I do. Well, this is a night scene, right? I want to see 50 people in the frame right now, like just a mob of people doing it. It's something like a lot of times you'll just have that spark. Then I drop it in the playlist, make a little note.
Right.
But for the most part, I'll find the rhythm. I know when you're looking at the audio signature in the file, right? It's in your timeline and you can see where it's going to get softer. You can see the hits, right? And the peaks, right? So it's kind of like you have a visual cue too. Like, I know this is the high paced part, or this is the vocals part, and then this is the bridge. So I'm going to use that kind of momentum shift along with my content. So if it's like the intro, the hook, hey, are you looking to buy a house in Hawaii and looking in the $800,000 range, blah, blah, like, okay, hook them. Then there's a switch of momentum towards, let's say, the intro. And I might match those like momentum shifts with music. And it doesn't matter necessarily, like, since I know in my head how I'm going to make the story stack when I'm editing, like hook, intro, re-identify the problem, put out the value, and then call to action. Something as simple as that, then I'll know where the shifts are in the content, and I might match that with the shifts in the momentum and the music. That's about as far as I would go for like that's my quick go-to. But then when I have time to be creative, or like I mentioned, I might go visit that playlist and be like, my music first playlist. Then I'll really flesh it out that's the more like no one's paying me to do this, but like I like doing it type of
Right.
work.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I mean everyone has their own thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone's different approach to it. Mine is I do that too. I like I'll just roll Pandora or whatever. I mean, whatever his music's playing, right? I'll listen to it in the car and just roll around. But I instead of taking note, I just if I like the song, look, I screenshot the song.
Yeah.
I screenshot the song on my phone,
Yeah.
and then I just forget about it. And then when I go on like a different project or something, yeah, I'll look at my phone. I'll see, oh wait, I remember I like this, and then maybe I'll put that on and see how it sounds, see what it sparks or something, just for the feel, to pull from the energy from it. But my thing is like just from shooting so many years, and yeah, I used to start with the music first, and I learned just from myself. It boxed me in, like I had to stick, like it was the spine already, and I had to stick to that. Then I'll get frustrated when I have to stick to this. So that's why I always like to have just a blank slate